1 in the morning. Woo! Yeah. Stay warm, everybody. I'm double layered up today. I got my vintage 1983 Florida State official sweatshirt on right here. No corporate markings whatsoever on this. This is vintage. This is vintage. Yeah, I love this, baby. And it's warm too, baby. This thing is older than all your kids. How about that? And I love it. Absolutely love it. Except doesn't mean a whole lot. This thing has gone through a lot. And we should probably recount that as we listen to the drivel that came out of Mike Norvell's mouth yesterday. Oh my. And we will play on this show. And I'm just going to ask you all, is this dude dealing with a full deck? Because I don't think he is. And I don't say that, in a pejorative way. I'm concerned for Mike. I'm concerned for him. I think there may be some issues going on with him. So we'll delve into that because you understand that Florida State and UF are going to have a new coach next year, and nobody has any idea who they are. That's a big deal. I can't remember if that's ever happened. I don't know if that's ever happened. So we'll get into that. And USF, by the way, and this is going to be – we're going to do a lot of college football today in the second hour. USF should be like the top of the headline every day. And we're going to treat it as such. This team is in the college football playoff hunt. And I swear to God, if James Madison runs a table and USF runs a table and there's even a thought of James Madison going instead of USF, we'll have to nuke the committee again. Again, we'll have to nuke the committee and something will have to be changed. But we won't want to go there right now. We want to go there right now. But there's chatter about that. And I'm like, we need to shut that down. James Madison does not have 2 top 25 wins. Okay? Not even close. Not even freaking close. So I don't care. Shut it down. Shut it down. But we're going to talk a lot of USF, FSU, UF in the second hour. Scott Reynolds is going to join us at 10:30, so lots of Bucs in the first hour. And we'll get to some other stuff. We'll get some lightning in there as well. So, and whatever you folks want to bring to the table. And Timmy, I'm sure you have some thoughts on this weekend of the NFL football. We did not get into a whole lot of the other NFL stuff yesterday. It was almost 100% Bucs, a little bit of college football. So your thoughts on the Bucs game are very much coveted. And we heard from Todd Bowles yesterday. I went and watched a little bit of the tape last night. Haven't gotten through the all-22 yet. But not much has changed in my evaluation, my initial evaluation of the game. I mean, 4 big plays given up, inexcusable. Never had 4 50-plus yard plays. I don't even know when the last time I've seen that from a Bucs defense, from anybody's defense. A lot of bad angles from the secondary on the 2 Travion Henderson runs. And by the way, when you got a back that runs at 22 miles per hour, don't let him out. Don't let him out. Take some better angles, everybody. Inside linebacking, specifically Servassier Dennis, is not good. I'm not going to blame him on both of those, but he was definitely part of the problem on both of those runs. Levante missed a tackle. No real help from the secondary on these plays. Got to be better. Got to be better all the way around. And I keep coming back to something I said right after the game, and it's been a theme for Todd Bowles. He is now 2-6 after the bye in his career as a head coach. That's bad. That's really bad after a bye. When you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team, you should be better than what we saw yesterday or Sunday. You should be way better in your execution. You should not be getting out coached when you had 2 weeks to get ready. And they were clearly out coached. I thought Josh McDaniels made some great calls on 3rd and longs, which they got with the running game. They got all the matchups that they wanted in almost every situation. That means you're calling the right plays. And they made plays. That's the other thing. I don't want to absolve the players of this. The players were not detailed. They had many mental errors, especially the offensive line. Protections were not good against 5- and 6-man pressures. That's what killed the 4th down play at the end. Free runners. They executed. They executed in certain situations, and the Bucs did not. And you got to be better. And I think the Baker Mayfield, that was an undressing at the end of the game. And when he came into the into the room wearing his match short set, I won't ever comment on anybody's fashion because I have none. But it was a curious choice,
to say the least.
It's not quite Cam Newton, but it's a curious choice. I think he was going to a fundraiser or something. So, yeah. Anyway, but his words meant something. When he's talking about, guys got to take pride, that's a shot across the bow. That is cannon fire across the bow. Guys got to take pride when they screw things up during the week to get it right on Sunday. There's some specific people that are being mentioned there without being mentioned. And he said, he took it himself too. He put it on himself as well. And he missed some throws early on third down that he's got to hit to Ibuka. He missed them. Listen, he has not had a rushing attempt in 3 games. And I said it right after the Detroit game. They found something. They hemmed him up. And I thought it was more injury related. And before the game, by the way, Tracy Wolfson, I believe it was, reported what we had speculated for the last few weeks, that Baker's about 50%. He's been playing at about 50%. And that's why he has not been running. Now, he got more juice. Yes, I thought he was better on Sunday, visually way better on Sunday, but still missed a few throws. And here's the thing. So the deal is, if Baker Mayfield is not getting out of the pocket, making unbelievable runs, escapes, plays with his legs, accurate throws on the run downfield, she had, again, in one of the touchdowns, actually both touchdowns to Tez, I think at least one, then we're not good. Then we can't beat anybody. So that's it. That's all we got is Baker Mayfield. And I'm to the point now where both Canales and Liam Cohen both got jobs because of Baker Mayfield. I'm not sure how good of coordinators they are, but they're winning games as head coaches, so they might be okay. But I'm just, is it all just Baker? Everybody else just waiting around for Baker to make a play? Is that what we're doing now? Evidently. Josh Grizzard, can we get some juice out of some other players? Now, listen, another thing we said, Timmy, that I think, and we've talked about this all year long, to get to 6-2 with all the injuries they've had is unbelievable. It's insane. And maybe this is a little bit of regression to the mean. By the way, you lost to an 8-2 football team who's won, 7 in a row now, and has arguably the next great star quarterback in this league, in Drake May. I don't want to go there just yet. You got to prove it to me consistently, but there's a good chance in about 3 years from now, we're going to be talking about Drake May as being one of the top tier quarterbacks in this league.
Who would have thought that Mike Vrabel would be a quarterback developing coach?
It might be a little bit about Josh McDaniel. I don't know.
I don't ever give him credit for anything.
That guy can't be a head coach, but he's, you keep him in his lane. So you're the offensive coordinator. Don't talk to anybody else because he's a weirdo. I think we've established that. He's got a little bit Bill Belichick in him. He's very antisocial, but whatever. The guy can coach offense. You just stick him in that lane and say, that's your lane. Don't leave your room. They'll be fine. But he can coach. He can flat out call plays and coach. Now, I'm not on this Josh Grizzard as the scapegoat bandwagon. I'm not doing that. This is way, as I said yesterday, he might be 3rd or 4th on the list of the offensive problems. Does he need to be better? Yeah. The whole offense needs to be better. It can't just be, hey, Baker, go make it up. Get out of the pocket and find somebody downfield. We got to be better than that. And that's eventually, it's one of these weird things. It's when you depend on that, you end up waiting for it to happen. And I think to some degree, that's what this offense is doing. It's waiting for Baker to make a play instead of scheming shit up, blocking it up, I said, because they didn't do squat in that department. They blocked up a few good runs. And, frankly, Tucker found a few holes that weren't there and exploited them and needed to get way more than 9 touches. But, a lot of it just is the Patriots played well and you did not. And coming off a bye week, and I will take the and Bolzen talked about that yesterday. It says it wasn't like the whole week off. It's like I always give a Monday off. Okay, why? You only have this because of the CBA, you only have so many hours with your players. And it's very restrictive. And listen, Todd Bowles is winning games, but I'm here to say that he gives these guys off a lot of time. And the bye week, it doesn't work for me. And it doesn't work for him. He's 2-6, 1-3. The only one he beat last year was the 3-14 Giants last year. He beat in the bye week, the Tommy DeVito disasters. So I guess you get credit for that. But other than that, no. And you should have seen it coming against a very well-coached team and a well-prepared team in the Patriots who's hot. And you're coming off a bye where you gave the team the whole week off. You said, so really I only gave them Wednesday. I gave them Monday. They get Tuesday. And then they got to have 4 days off. Okay, that leaves 3 to come in. And they didn't come in on any of them. So I don't know. Did it look like a team that was not on the details? Yep. Did it look like a team that didn't have any juice? Yep. It looked like a team that's been sitting on the couch for a week and then said, oh, let's go play. Once you take your foot off the gas in a season like that, I don't think it's good for a team. I just don't think it is. And we'll see if they can. But that to me is a problem. And if I were Todd Bowles, I would address that. I would stop doing that. I would do everything different that you're doing in a bye week. What did it look like to you, Timmy?
I've been thinking about this really all season about the bye weeks, and I've always hated the bye weeks. I know that you have to have them, especially here in I think in a short amount of time when we're going to go to 20 regular season games. I honestly think that's happening sooner than later. And you're going to have another bye week now, in all of that. I think they're pushing the Super Bowl back to the end of February, and they're just going to run with the schedule the way they can come up with it. But it's not just the Bucs right now. To me, it's the whole freaking league. Offense is not at a premium in the NFL right now. Look at last night's game.
God, that was awful.
When you think of a matchup between the Eagles and the Packers, you're thinking, sweet, we're going to get a game.
Yeah, dude, lots of points.
10-7 is all those teams could muster.
0-0 at the half.
Ridiculous. And look at the Bills. Look at the Bills this week. They lost to the Dolphins. Yeah. And they scored 13 points against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
The offense is not at a premium in New York anymore. Look at the rest of your NFC South. The freaking Falcons lost.
It's dreadful.
They should have won that game over the Colts. Now, of course, I wasn't cheering for them. I was cheering for the Colts. And the Panthers, who we don't know who they are now, lost to the Saints at home by 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in the NFL right now. And you go back to week 9. The Cowboys scored 17 against the Cardinals. It's offense is a problem right now. And I don't know why. Is it just because we're getting into the meat of the schedule? Obviously teams are banged up, but teams have been banged up all year long. I don't want to blame any of this on injuries.
I have a feeling that so many of these coaches are risk adverse, and it's the numbers on turnovers are just so telling. So the Bucs won the turnover battle the other day and they lost, but I think you win the turnover battle, it's like 75% that you win the game. And I think these coaches are so terrified of turnovers.
Yeah.
That they limit what their quarterback should do. Like look at Gerzard. 2 3rd and longs in this game. He called screens. Did not let Baker Mayfield read the field down the field. Now that may be because when every 3rd and long they sent a 5-man pressure and we couldn't block it. At some point you're like, well, look, you guys can't block it, so I can't call a play down the field. Is that on Gerzard? Yeah. That's a good call. Listen, if we can't block the 5-man pressure, then I'm not going to call it anymore. How do you beat a 5-man pressure? You screen. And unfortunately, they couldn't execute the screens either.
Yeah, it's
because the Patriots are well schooled and they sniffed it out. They played well. They played really, really well. But it comes back to this original point, Timmy. So I think that's, and I don't know, is scoring down this year? I would guess it is. But I don't know the actual numbers. But in terms of just the preparation of what it should have looked like, that was not it. If you're the team that has the bye, how are you not dealing well with the pressures that they're sending at you? You should be prepared for all those. Now, listen, Mike Jordan came in for Bredesen, so he wasn't working with the ones all week. You have a new, right guard in Feeney. He hasn't been working with it, and they're doing all these stunts up front, and we're just not handling them very well. And we haven't all year, to be frank.
You want the scoring numbers?
Yeah.
Last year, the league averaged 22.9. This year, through 11 weeks, 23.3.
So it's up. The scoring is up.
Almost half a point, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I think a lot of that goes to the first part of the year when you had teams, beating each other 45-40.
Yeah.
And that's obviously fallen off.
Yeah. So, it goes in ebbs and flows. And, I just singling in on the Bucs offense right now, it's plain as day. It's plain as day. They can't, and I said this after the Lions game. I said, look, we can't run the football very well right now without Bucky and this offensive line struggling. They just figured out how to hem in Baker Mayfield. We're going to struggle until we figure it out the next couple of weeks. And that's exactly what happened. Because you watch the games. Like, as soon as I saw what the Lions did and spied him, I went, uh-oh. And you heard me on the show. I said it on a Monday. Uh-oh. This is not good. We got an injured quarterback who's now getting spied on and really has been such a huge force of this offense getting out and making big plays. And that has not been the case the last 3 weeks, and we have struggled mightily offensively. So you got to figure it out. They're taking away Baker's legs. That leaves other things open. Backs in the flat. Other one-on-one matchups. But you guys got to win. Tez, you got to win. Cam, you got to win. Until Mike comes back, until J-Mac comes back, if he ever does, and Mike, if he ever does this year.
Yeah.
And Godwin, if he ever does. I mean, I was thinking about this morning, I'm like, if I wanted to be Bucs basement and just go all negative, and listen, there is a huge part of objectivity in this as well. I mean, if we're being 100% true, I'm not a cheerleader. That's not what I'm paid to do here, folks. I'm paid to be objective. And what I see right now is an offense that is struggling mightily because they can't run the football consistently. Although they were 113 yards against the Patriots is not bad against the number one run defense in football. That's not bad. But they didn't use it effectively enough to score enough points.
Their scoring, JP, this year, the Bucs, is down half a point a game from last year.
It should. Well, that doesn't.
I'm sorry. No, I misspoke. I'm sorry. 5 points per game.
5 points per game. Yeah, they were 29.5. They're at 24 points. Yeah, they're down 5 points a game, and that goes directly to the offensive line and wide receiver issues. They're still above average, which is shocking, honestly. With all that, but they've got to figure this out because you know who doesn't care? Buffalo.
Yeah.
They don't care, nor do the Rams.
Lions don't care.
They don't care.
Lions look like they're on pace again.
Yeah. So you got to figure it's about adjustments. And you got to figure it out. And they got to lean on the running game a little bit more. I think from a passing game standpoint, they got to figure out how to protect Baker Mayfield. Or that's all they're going to get are these TEs and 5-man pressures. You got to figure it out. So that means Michael Jordan and Sweeney and whoever the hell is going to play these guard positions, you guys need to step up and play better than you did. And listen, Tristan Wirfs has not been the player that we've come to know and love either. Mm-mm. He's getting beat time and again. Not time and again, but like 3 or 4 times a game, which is unheard of.
More than we're used to seeing for sure.
Yeah. So so if you're the pessimist, you're like, I don't know when Bucky's coming back. And I don't know if this offensive line's going to get better. I don't know. Right guard seems to be a really deep hole right now. Where's Elijah Klein? He hadn't done squat. Is he hurt? He might be hurt. I don't know. But they don't have any answers at guard right now, and they sure as hell didn't make any moves at the deadline to fix it. And I'm not going to say both of those touchdowns were on Servassier Dennis, those long runs, but a more experienced inside linebacker may have taken a better angle and made sure that was an 8-yard gain and not a 60-yard gain. And we didn't go out and get an experienced inside linebacker when we could have. I don't know what the price was. I don't know what it was. I don't know what Jason Light said no to. But at this point,
it looks bad.
It looks bad. You didn't help. You didn't get a wide receiver. You didn't go out and get an expiring contract, an offensive lineman, or an inside linebacker. You didn't do any of it. You stood pat. So
can you imagine somebody telling us after week 1 at the trade deadline the Bucs would be desperate to trade for a wide receiver? Can you imagine what we would have said?
You know, most of the last 2 weeks they've had 18 people on the injury report. 18.
Yeah.
18. The other team has like 5 or 6 every week. It's, size-wise, it's like 3 times as long. Size matters here, folks. I hate to tell you. Always does. Yeah. It's and then you don't do anything at the deadline. And again, I can't rightfully criticize Jason Light because I don't have the injury answers. I don't know when any of these guys are coming back, and maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Or maybe he just punted and said it ain't worth it. We ain't got the horses.
Yeah.
This is all you got. And if that's the case, of course, they're not going to come out and publicly say that. But it might be. I do trust Jason Light, and he knows a hell of a lot more than I do. He knows what the prices were for these players because of course he looked into all those things. Of course he did. But maybe he covets his draft picks more than Howie Roseman, who does a pretty good job. More than the Colts. They do a pretty good job. I saw a lot of teams making moves. Good teams. Good teams making moves. Good organizations making moves.
Even bad teams made moves. Look at the Cowboys.
Teed that one up for you. Nicely done.
You're welcome.
Nicely done. Yeah, give yourself one there. Yeah. But we didn't. And so when you don't make moves, then we go, okay, well, you know what you're doing. Let's see what happens today. Whoops. Whoops. Kind of looked like you needed maybe another receiver. It certainly looked like you needed an inside linebacker, and you damn sure needed an offensive lineman. That's incontrovertible. Well, that's on the tape. That I can see. That I can see. No question about it. The Bucs could have used better players at all those positions. Now, what's the cost? I don't know. That I don't know. What injured players are coming back? That I don't know.
We don't know anything.
We don't, but Jason does. So we have to trust him. But the only thing we do know and what we saw was that you were substandard at those positions that you needed help in. And because we've seen it all year long, and Sunday was no different. It's no different. Same stuff. And if we see the same stuff at Buffalo and LA and throughout the rest of the season, then the answer to this question is we were already too injured and it wouldn't have mattered anyway. We wanted to keep our picks for later. Okay. And that is a fair assessment. And it's not something he can come out and say right now. So let's leave that door open. Let's leave that door open. I'm not crushing Jason Light. I'm just saying the obvious. Those were positions of need. We didn't do anything. There's a reason for it. The cost was too high or it's too big a hole. Could Jason Light have been wrong? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying the dude's perfect. I'm just saying in general, he's done one hell of a job. Hell of a job. And you're not going to get everything right. This is not, this is not a multiple choice test. It is very gray area. This is an essay test. And it's subjective as to what the answers are. But after 1 week, post deadline, ugly. And listen, there was a lot of good there in the game. This wasn't a blowout of epic proportions. There was a lot of good in this game. Tez stepped up with a couple of touchdowns. Other than those 2 runs, and that's hard to say, I know, the running game was held in check. So there was a lot of good stuff, but a lot of bad too. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Scott Reynolds is going to join us from the Pewter Report, and we'll get into your comments as well. We'll get into college football in hour 2. Lots to get to as well. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. They have offices in Tampa and St. Petersburg, actual offices that are staffed that you can walk into and see an attorney. That's JeevesLawGroup.com. Also great in the community. You always want to mention that. Scott Jeeves supports a lot of the community charities around here. So we love those local companies that do that. So support them. JeevesLawGroup.com. Not only that, they're great lawyers and they'll get you great results. JeevesLawGroup.com, a non-attorney spokesman. Also, the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. We're still taking hurricane relief items over at Genesis of Tampa, along with Gray Bull relief. They will go and take all that stuff and bring it down to Jamaica for you. So bring in whatever you can, diapers, canned food, anything that those folks could use down there. They'll fly it down there for you, and we appreciate you doing that. Or go buy a car as well. No payments till 2026 on a new car at Genesis of Tampa, and they're amazing cars. So check it out and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3 with Scott Reynolds. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, the place to go watch your sporting events and enjoy a fantastic meal and a great microbrew. They make it right there. The Hazy IPA is fabulous. They also have a sour. They have a light, a lager as well. They make them all right there. Fantastic. They have a seltzer that they make right there as well. So they do that at Riveters, and their food is fantastic. I always tell you this, the chicken wings are my favorite, and you order them with a little medium sauce on the side and then the blue cheese, and you mix them all up. Oh, it's amazing. RivetersTampa.com. You know where it is, right next to the spaceship there on Dale Mabry, south of the stadium. We love it. All right, let's get to some comments here while we are waiting. You
might not have gotten my text. You might need to send Scott a new link, depending on how long ago it was. Well, there he is right there. Never mind.
It just popped up. Yeah. All right. Well, there he is, looking handsome as ever. The great
face that runs the place.
The face that runs the place at Pewter Report. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Doing good. How are you? Freezing my ass off, but it's Florida in November.
It's lovely. I thought it was lovely this morning. You know who loves the cold? Tally. My Labrador loves the cold.
So does my dog Moose, who wanted to go outside at 5:15 this morning and experience the 21-degree wind chill. Had to pee
and
at
Pops
5:15.
did not.
Yeah.
And Pops decidedly did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Tally I had to wait until 7 o'clock anyway. But they do. Well, they have their own coat. So, it's like, I want to wear my winter coat today. Yeah. Yes,
exactly.
you do.
Yeah,
yes, you do. And most of it's on the floor all the time. We love that. But anyway, so I have opined mightily on this loss to the Patriots. I don't think it was a horrible loss, but looked like a lethargic team that had the whole week off the week before. I'm not down with the Todd Bowles schedule, but that may just be me.
It really was just a day. I mean, it was Wednesday, right? So, do you want to practice Wednesday? This team was pretty beat up.
But it's not. No, it's not. It's not now.
It's not?
It's Monday. Tuesday's a regular day off. So you gave them Monday,
right.
Gave them the Tuesday's a regular, and you gave them Wednesday and Thursday, which they could have been in the building.
Nope. Thursday they cannot. They need 4 days off per the NFL rules. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, so that's so Monday and Wednesday.
Correct.
Yeah. All right.
And what
Bowles, a lot to me, by the way.
But what Bowles,
a whole week away from football. I mean, it's great mentally. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, it looked like it on Sunday.
Here's the thing, guys. If Baker Mayfield, or let's put it this way, if Josh Grizzard maybe runs the ball on 3rd and 3, they have a chance to do what they've done against the Falcons, the Texans, the Jets, the Seahawks, which is come back and beat a team in the last minute of the game, as we've seen this Buccaneer team do time and time again this year, right? They have done that. And they were at the 27-yard line at the 2-minute warning with timeouts, and it was 3rd and 3. And I didn't like the call to throw the ball there. You had Sean Tucker's running the ball at 5.9 yards per pop. Granted, it's the number 1 rush defense in the league, but you had 113 yards rushing up to that point.
So you're sure that they're going to make it on 3rd and 3 in the right? You probably set up 4th and 2 or 4th and 1 instead of a play where he hit K-Dot and right in the hands, and 2 really good tacklers came in and hit him. I'm not going to call it a drop, but the guy was open and they hit him.
He was open, but it was a tight window, right? And
it was.
All I'm saying is if the Buccaneers convert that, they're at the red zone, the cannons are firing, right? And if the Buccaneers win this game, what would have been 23-21, right? If they win the game 23-21, we're not having the whole, Todd Bowles shouldn't have given him the week off. It would have been like, Todd Bowles is smart to give him the week off, right?
But they did.
It's funny how it just flips, right? That's exactly
right.
But
they did it. And if they would have scored, then the Patriots could have come back and scored. We can play this game all day.
Of course. Yeah. At the end of the day, they have 3 losses to a 7-2 Eagles team that's leading the NFC East, to a 6-3 Lions team, which at the end of the day probably is going to win that division, right? And then you've lost to the Patriots, who are 8-2. They're legit, and they're leading their division. Not Buffalo. The Patriots are, and they were 4-13
game heater. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, trust me, we did an hour. We do an hour-long post-game podcast. It went an hour and 35 minutes.
I know. I listened to the whole thing.
because we had to talk people off the ledge. They were driving to the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. I'm like, folks, like, season's not over, man. It's not.
Exit downtown quickly.
Raheem Morris would love to switch places with you. He's 3-6. They're
I'm not saying this guy's falling. I'm just saying they look like a team that took the foot off the gas pedal. They weren't ready to play.
No, I don't think that's the case. I love that first drive. I mean, they came out guns ablaze in first drive. That was the best opening drive I've seen from the Buccaneers all year. Imaginative play calling, execution, wide open receiver. I mean, wide ass open was Emeka Egbuka, right? That was like, boom, fired the cannons. Like, all right, 7-0. This team is ready to go. And I think there's something what Baker said was just they kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. They got comfortable. And they need a killer instinct. Everything Baker Mayfield said, I agree with. And he even pointed the finger at himself. I thought Baker played a really good game, except for third down, because he had 10 dropbacks. He was sacked on one of them. And only 2 of those 9 other pass plays did he convert a third down. One was the touchdown, the first touchdown to Tez Johnson. That was on third down. And then the second conversion was that garbage time touchdown. It was 3rd and 10. He threw an 11-yard pass. So on those other, 7 opportunities, he was either incomplete or he threw a pass that did not pick up a first down. It was short of the sticks. So he didn't play well on third down. The offense didn't play well on third down. Josh Grizzard's play calling was great one moment, not great the next. I love the end arounds. I love the fact that they ran for 113 yards and 5.4 yards per carry against the number 1 ranked rush defense. We can't sit there and not look at some of the positives and say, well, this was terrible play calling by Josh Grizzard. No, in some moments it wasn't. I did not like the screen pass to Cade Otton. I don't like screen passes to anybody that is not an instant accelerator. Cade Otton is slow. Rashad White is not your fastest back. If you want to throw screen passes, Josh, I'm all for it. Get it in the hands of Cam Jordan. Get it in the hands of Sterling Shepard. Get it in the hands of Tez Johnson.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that have instant acceleration that can pick up yards, make somebody miss. Cade Otton, Rashad White, they're not those guys.
I agree. 100% agree with that. And we saw that with Sterling Shepard. They ran a screen to him and he got 9 yards and with really good instant acceleration. And I also think when you're mixing them
end around, and so did Cam Johnson.
And I think it also when you're having to mix and match offensive linemen, because so much of the screenplay is dependent on perfect timing by your offensive lineman getting out. It's a great nuance. Some do it better in space. Yeah. Some do it better in space and some don't. It's a very, and if you got new guys in there, it's a little bit tougher.
It is.
I also thought that they didn't handle pressures well, especially the one on 4th down at the end of the game. And that may be from, again, having new guys in there that maybe not working with the first team, because there was TE stunts going on. So you've got to work in concert, passing them off, and that takes practice together, and they really haven't practiced. But again, that's great coaching on their part. That's great coaching on. They said, look, we got a new left tackle, our new left guard, new right guard. Let's run TEs all day long, see if they can handle it. They didn't. And handle it well.
That's right. They didn't, and they're going to have to get better at it because Ben Bredesen's going to be out for a while with this hamstring injury. Yeah. So, it's just, I think Josh Grizzard is just getting kind of raked over the coals by some fans.
It's not fair.
And it's like, well, Liam Cohen had injured players too last year. No, he did not. Liam Cohen had Tristan Wirfs out 1 game. Luke Gedeke out 4 games. Cody Mauch started every single game at right guard. Ben Bredesen started every single game at left guard. Graham Barton missed 1 game. Robert Hainsey filled in, and they ran for 277 yards against the Saints, right? So otherwise, the offensive line, outside of a combined miss 4, 5, 6 combined starts by 3 players, okay? Cody Mauch is going to miss 15 starts all by himself this year, okay?
Right.
Luke Gedeke's already missed 6. Is that right?
Tristan missed 4.
7. Yeah, Tristan missed 3.
3.
So... Oh, and by the way, you don't have any of your 3 receivers from last year right now, okay? You don't have Jalen. You haven't had Jalen all year. You've only had Mike for 4 games. And really, it was like 2 full games, half of the Jets game and half of the Lions game, right? And then Chris came back for 2, and he's a shell of his former self, right?
Right.
Lucky, your leading runner from a year ago, played the first 4 games. He's missed the last 5.
And a big receiver too for you. Yeah.
Yes. So it's like,
no, Grizzard is not the problem. He's not.
By the way, they're 6-3. They weren't 6-3 last year, with less injured players. So they're doing something right. I mean, Todd Bowles and Josh Grizzard are trying to make chicken salad out of chicken, what.
Yeah.
And they've kind of done it. So we have to give them some credit here. We haven't seen the stub your toe loss yet, and I hope it doesn't come, because I think that's the mark of a great team. You win the winnable games, and if you're going to lose games, it's to division-leading foes really that just were better that day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so the sky is not falling, and brace yourselves, Bucs fans. 6-5 is a possibility. It's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
I mean, the Bills did lose to the Dolphins.
They did. Yeah. And
so.
And if that team shows up, Tampa Bay could easily win. Yeah. And if the team that shows up on 2 weeks ago, when I was flying out of Kansas City and watching the Bills beat the beloved Chiefs in that market, boy, there's a lot of unhappy Chiefs fans at that airport.
I bet.
But the Bills can play great, right? But so can the Bucs. They've beaten the Seattle Seahawks, which are now 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them on the road. So on any given Sunday, you never know. I said this on our show yesterday. It's like the Carolina Panthers looked really, really good beating the Packers up in Lambeau, and they come home and they lose by 10 to Tyler Shuck and the lowly Saints. So, we'll see. I will press the panic button if the losing streak comes to 4 games and they lose to the Cardinals at home. That's when I'll press the panic button. But I fully expect this team to be no worse than 7-5, 12 weeks into the season. Oh, and guess what? They were 7-5 in 2020 with Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, a younger Mike, healthy Mike, a younger Chris, healthy Chris, and AB, right? And hardly any injuries that year. They were still 7-5. So if Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield, who's maybe probably 60%, if they can pull off 7-5 right here with way more injuries to overcome, that's fantastic.
That's great. And with the games that remain, a great chance to sew up definitely a division title in a home playoff game.
As long as you don't have that stub your toe game. Yes. Absolutely.
The number one seed might
be 11 wins.
Yeah. The number 1 seed. That's what I said in the beginning of the season. 11 wins was where they're going to be. So I think that's where this is headed, hopefully. So the sky is not falling, but we do have a Baker Mayfield problem. And the problem is Baker was so good early on. Yeah. He was the magic that kept everything together, and the Lions figured out if we spy him and we mush rush him, that takes away a lot of their big plays. And that's what I sounded the alarm then, and 2-3 games now, it's been tough for this offense to get going. How do they get out of this conundrum?
Well, you better get Mr. Miyagi, right? You need to, do that and press that knee and that oblique and heal it.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Mayfield magic, and that's really what it was. It was him scrambling. It was extending drives. It was picking up the 4th down with the 11-yard run, 15-yard run, whatever it was. It was it was the run against the 49ers, picking up those yards. And taking that away with defenses is also one thing. But I'm not knocking K'Lavon Chaisson. He's a really good athlete. He's a fast player, right? He was a high draft pick for a reason. But we've seen Baker Mayfield, he runs for his life when he scrambles. I mean, it's he knows he's not Ben Roethlisberger, 6'5", 240 pounds. I mean, he does not want to get creamed and tackled and all this kind of stuff. He's a tough guy, but I mean, he runs with a sense of urgency. There's no gallop. It's a full-on sprint stride. And he had an opening running to the left. This is in the first half of that game. And he got caught from behind easily by Chaisson. And maybe Chaisson is just faster, better athlete. But we've seen Baker kind of step out of some of those tackles and still scoot and pick up 7-8 yards.
Yep.
The injuries are real. He has 0 rushing yards the last 3 games. That's not a joke. And part of that maybe is some defense. The other part of it is I don't think that he has the confidence in his wheels right now that he's going to actually pick up some yards.
He's just not moving like he did. He's
not moving like he did.
No, he's just not.
And he's going to have to
see it. It's
win
clear.
in the pocket.
Yeah, it's clear. So how do they fix it?
That's the question. Yeah, that's the question.
They got Mr. Miyagi. That's the answer. But
well, I said, like I said earlier, it's like, so that's all we got is Baker Magic. Like nobody else. We can't win with a running game. We can't win with a passing game.
You win with the running game. You win with
better.
Josh Grizzard consistently being creative, putting in some new stuff every week. It can't be. And this is the thing that Josh has to kind of understand. And he's a smart guy. I'm not telling him anything he doesn't know. But there's no more bye weeks. There's no more, okay, well, we'll get to the bye week. We'll decompress a little bit. We'll take a deep breath, self-scout. No, it's on to the next game. It's on to the next game. It's on to the next game. You don't have the time to really kind of do that. So I like what they did, though. They spent some time on the Patriots during the bye week. They also looked ahead to the remaining games in the NFC South. They took a deep, hard dive on the Panthers for the first time. Because really, by midseason, you are who you are, right? Like you've put enough film out there.
Yeah,
10, 20% of your game is going to change on a week-to-week basis, depending on who's in and who's out of the lineups and all that stuff. I don't know that the Bucs fully appreciated Travion Henderson's speed because he was splitting time with Ramondre Stevenson, for example, right?
Yeah.
But so they took a look at the Panthers. You got one more game against the Saints, one more game against the Falcons. You got to win those, right? You got to maintain your lead in the division. And so let's hope that the Josh's bag of tricks has kind of been replenished. I don't mean you got to like trick people, but the two end arounds averaged 11 yards per carry. I would have loved one more. I'm the old Pop Warner defensive coordinator who I had.
You hate jet sweeps.
I hated it. It's the absolute worst play. We were playing Palmetto, and they ran two jet sweeps on us that averaged like 12 yards. I think one was for 10 yards, one was for 14, and there's 2 first downs, and we literally couldn't stop it. You're talking about getting a guy who's going full speed the ball where everybody else in your defense is static. And certainly at the Pop Warner level, right? It's if you have a really good athlete, look out. But at the NFL level, you have more athletes, but still. The Bucs averaged 11 yards per carry, first downs on each of those. I would have liked to have seen that happen more. The only reason we stopped that play back in the Pop Warner days was because the offensive coordinator didn't run it again.
I don't know why they think I'm like, okay, we've run it twice. Yeah. We can't do that again.
Thanks for not running that play because we couldn't stop it. And y'all did because you stopped it yourself. So, yeah, I would have liked to have seen that again and again. I mean, run it until – you get 4 yards. Okay, then you put it away for the week. But I mean, yeah, why not? If a play is working at 11 yards a pop, call it a couple more times. If anything, what it does is it slows your defense down because you can't go upfield, right? You're going to have to kind of pump the brakes a little bit, really read the play, especially when you have motion, right? Is it a fake motion? Is it a fake handoff? Is it a handoff that's going to be an end around, right? So there's a lot you can do with that. I would have liked to have seen Josh stick with that a little bit more because it was working.
Tim, you want to get in here?
Yeah, sorry, I'm dealing with a little bit of breaking news here in the DFW area. I'm trying to knock out too. But look, we know the problem is not Josh Grizzard. I know y'all have discussed this already. I don't understand why he's getting so much heat. Because when you look at the way the team has performed at the beginning of the season, who are the real Bucs? Are they the Bucs weeks 1 through 7, or are they the Bucs the last 2 weeks? Right? Like at some point, there's got to be some balance. And every team deals with injuries.
Yep.
Every team deals with. I mean, I don't know what else they're dealing with other than injuries. To be quite honest, the culture's great, right? There's a lot of teams dealing with a lot worse things. Philadelphia, Dallas Cowboys. But at some point. We had to expect that something like this was going to happen at some point of the season. We knew they weren't going to carry that trend, especially with all the injuries that they've had.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand all the gloom and doom. Like they're 6-3.
Yeah, I know. Like, and to me, this offense is like, if I'm Todd Bowles, I'm kind of pulling a Tony Dungy here. Remember, Tony Dungy was famous for saying, he would tell Warren and John and, Derek, the Hall of Famers, that there weren't Hall of Famers yet on that those early Dungy teams, but he would say, guys, our offense isn't that great. We need to hold opponents under 17 points per game.
Right.
And that was it. That was the standard, 17 points. If the Bucs scored or the Bucs allowed 17 points or more, chances are they were going to lose because they just didn't have the offense back in the day, right? And and I think now it's 24 points. I think the Bucs can put 24 points on the board most weeks, and that's kind of the number. It's going to be a little higher some weeks. You're going to get, maybe the defensive touchdowns involved. But I think 23, 24 points is probably about it for this offense that is riddled with injuries. That's what you can reasonably expect. And so the onus is on Todd Bowles. It's like, guys, we can't give up more than 21 points per game. That's how they're going to have to win this season, is they're going to have to win games in the 20s. If it gets in the 30s, that Seahawks game is probably a little bit of an anomaly, right? Baker was feeling it that day, flicking on all cylinders. Emeka couldn't be stopped. And neither could Sam Darnold, really, especially in the second half. So,
that's right.
But they're going to have to win games in that 24, pretty much like it would have been the final score in that game. Had they have gotten that go-ahead touchdown, they would have won 23-21. That's how they're going to have to win those games. And that means on defense, you got to take on that Secret Service mentality, which is we can't allow, we can't take one play off, because that one play can be a Jahmyr Gibbs runaway touchdown. It can be Bijan Robinson, 50-yard touchdown catch. It can be, a Travion Henderson or a Kyle Williams touchdown. And if they can stop the big play, I think they've got a chance. But when you give up those explosives, you're not even allowing your red zone defense a chance. And we saw he should have a red zone, end zone interception. So this defense has got to knock off giving up the touchdowns and help the offense out. And to the offense's credit, they can't have Detroit happen again. They can't have New Orleans happen. They got to put 23, 24 points on the board themselves.
Well, we'll see if that happens. We got one comment in here from one of our very learned folks here, TJC22, who has a football background and watches it all 22. He said something that's come up on tape the last few weeks that's starting to concern me is the route detail, depth, timing, guys not where they're supposed to be. And I asked Emeka about that because there were two, maybe 3 third downs where it appeared that Baker missed him. And it could also be that he didn't run the right route. Or to TJC's, wasn't at the right depth. And Emeka actually, when I asked him about that, he copped to that. He said, I got to be better. Yeah. I got to be better. And so that's my point is, how does this offense get better? Everybody else needs to be better. Tez needs to be better, even though he caught 2 touchdowns. His route running leads a little bit to be desired at times. Yep, I guess the same with Emeka. And I'm guessing the same, and all these guys, everybody needs to be better and step up and do their job and stop waiting for Baker to bail their ass out.
Yeah, Tristan Wirfs gave up a sack, right? To Elijah Ponder. Can't do that. Like, again, it's the Secret Service mentality. It's like we have to every single day, keep our guy safe. Like, that's it. It's you're on detail. You got to play perfect is really what it is. And no one's going to be perfect. But if you have that mentality, then you're going to play winning football. And if you don't, you're going to, give up the 72-yard Kyle Williams touchdown, like Benjamin Morrison. He's a young corner, right? It's like he started off on that route, and that's a tough route to defend, right? You're running all the way across the field and then and up, right? He started off with top leverage, which when you're playing single high safety, which is what the Bucs had on that particular play, was man with single high. You had Winfield kind of shaded more towards the opposite side of the field than where he went. Yeah, Tyke Smith, who was spying the tight end. The tight end stayed in the block. He's got to make sure that tight end doesn't release. So he's kind of like stuck there, kind of like quicksand a little bit. And you run that route right behind Tyke, which is what happened. But when Benjamin Morrison, you can get away with this at Notre Dame. When you go inside and you try to jump the route, if you're Zion McCollum, you have 4.3 speed, you can probably get away with that. Maybe it's a pass breakup, maybe it's a pick six.
Yeah.
But when you're a 4.5 guy like Morrison is, against Kyle Williams, who's 4.4, you're going to get out leveraged. And he was out leveraged, and then he was in no man's land. He wasn't going to break up the pass. Perfect throw, and he had zero chance of making that play. If anything, you play that safe, knowing that you don't have safety help. You really don't, because that safety is in the middle of the field. You got a guy heading towards the end zone. You can't expect Winfield, he's going to be alert to that. when the ball hasn't even been thrown yet. He's going to start running towards my guy. I have over-the-top help. No, that's a rookie mistake. He gave up the leverage. He should have stayed outside on the receiver's left hip rather than cutting inside on the right hip.
Mm-hmm.
Then
it's a 10-yard gain.
Yeah.
Then it's exactly. Then at worst 15 yards, whatever. At least you're slowing it down. Tyke gets there, whatever. And
that's a learning experience. That's part of learning in this league. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are like, this ain't on the job training. Jamel Dean's playing at a number one level.
Yep.
Don't take him off the field until he gets hurt.
I get it. I mean, Todd Bowles is trying to get Benjamin Morrison.
I get it too.
Some experience because Jamel Dean's not going to be there, and you want to have Benjamin Morrison as your starter when he fills in next year. He's got some experience. I get that, but the problem is he was in the game for a handful of plays. He was targeted 4 times right off the bat, gave up 4 catches, and had a pass
by accident. Not by accident. Not by
accident. If
accident.
you're going to take a guy off the field, and I love Zion McCollum, great guy, but I mean, I'm not taking off the guy that's leading my team in forced fumbles and interceptions and that is playing at a Pro Bowl level. I'm not taking Jamel out at any costs. I'll take Zion out because he has made 0 plays this year in terms of no interceptions, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no sacks, no splash plays. If it's going to come at an expense of one of my corners, it's going to be Zion. But that's not the way Bowles is playing it. There are politics involved. But it didn't help you. Right. It didn't help you on Sunday for sure. It cost you.
It's the worst case scenario for Bowles. You've hoped to give him a few, target. Right. But listen, this is why great coordinators are who they are. Josh McDaniels said, saw on film, I can get 21. And when he comes into the game, we're going after his ass.
You have a guy up in the box
and they work
saying 21's in the game.
21's in the game.
And Josh
running the crosser.
McDaniels looks at the play sheet for when 21 is in the game and calls it.
Yep. Yeah. That's all
coaching.
Not hard.
It's not hard.
All coaching. Yep. Absolutely. All right, Scotty, great stuff as always. We always learn more when you come in. We really appreciate it. The new Reynolds 30 in the back there, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. You don't like my alarm clock jersey I had back there?
Nobody likes that.
No. I know.
Thank you for getting rid of that.
Well, I got to thank the team because the team gave me that 20 jersey that I had for my 20th year covering the team back a decade ago, and Brian Ford and the Laziers and the Buccaneer family, they were kind enough to bestow me with a new 30 jersey for my 30th year covering the team. So that's
awesome.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome. Well deserved, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, partner. We will see you all week on Peter Report TV, all that stuff, and we'll see you next week here. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. Thank you, veterans, for serving this country.
Yes, we're gonna start off our new hour with that. We have a special Pat Tillman story that we are going to share with everyone.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Scotty. Right. Appreciate it. Yeah, he jumped the gun on me there. Says we're starting the 11 o'clock hour with a Veterans Day salute to the man that embodies the NFL and our military maybe better than anybody. And that's the story of Pat Tillman, which is a very important story for many, many reasons. And we will get to it. All right. Thanks to Scotty. And our thanks also to the Golden Diamond Source. They are the folks that when you start your holiday shopping, you say, you know what? I want to support a local company. So I'm not going to just buy everything on Amazon. So I'm going to go over to Golden Diamond Source, tell them JP sent me. I'm going to find something really, really nice. And for my wife, for my girlfriend, for both, whatever you want to do. It's the Gold and Diamond Source. And not only do they have the best staff, the best selection, the best everything, they have designers there. So you can design something. You can need something fixed. They can do that. If you have old gold, old jewelry, you want to bring it in and get some cash for that, you can do that as well. Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, just over the bridge if you're coming from Tampa, about 15, 20 minutes from downtown Tampa. All right, we'll next up, Veterans Day, what it means, a story of Pat Tillman, and we're going to dive into the issues at Florida State, Florida, and USF, putting them at the top of the bill. All that next. Stay with us. It's the holiday season, so come visit the wonderland of jewelry at the Gold and Diamond Source. With over 25 times the inventory and selection of the average jewelry store. Guys, get your shopping done early, and if you have no idea of the trends and styles that your lady wants, that's cool. The incredible staff, led by Julie and Steve Weintraub and family, will offer up some great ideas with no pressure. They offer everything for the first-time jewelry buyer to the most exquisite selection of museum-quality pieces. Enjoy a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere and experienced staff, geologists, jewelers, and designers for all your jewelry needs. From the luxurious jewelry boxes to their VIP customer care, there's many reasons to make sure it's a gold and diamond source diamond. Keep it local this holiday season. Shop online anytime at goldendiamond.com or just come by their showroom at 3800 Overton Road and always online at goldendiamond.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally. And listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Tuesday. As we roll on, we're going to get into some college football, USF, FSU, UF coming up. And we thank the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Heating and Cooling. It's chilly out, so you actually need that heater to work. And if you have an American Standard Heating and Cooling unit, you have the best in the industry, the most durable, the most efficient, the most cost-effective, and the best place to get it is thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They obviously do AC as well. So, yeah, if your unit is not working up to its capability, you don't want to have a unit that's not performing. Trust me, folks. Go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com and make sure all your plumbing and AC is working, if you know what I'm saying. And American Standard Heating and Cooling is the standard. ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com. Tell them JP sent you. All right, let's get into a couple of comments here before. Actually, first and foremost, I want to say happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans that are serving right now and the ones who have served. Obviously, it is the most important thing, the most important job anyone can do in this country by far. It's not being the quarterback of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Baker Mayfield will be the first one to tell you that. It's not even being a school teacher. That's pretty awesome as well. And these are a lot of these jobs where you don't get paid and they're really, really important. And then you get to the military folks, which is the most important, because without them, we don't have any of our freedoms. And I bring up the story of Pat Tillman because obviously this is a sports show. And Pat Tillman famously, and I think a lot of people, younger people don't know this story. Pat Tillman was
which is crazy to me. It's just crazy to me.
Pat Tillman was a great safety for the Arizona Cardinals back from 1998 to 2001. He had 155 tackles one year, got Pro Bowl votes that year. He was a very physical, downhill, knock your D in the dirt type guy. And he came from a very honorable military family as well. And after 9/11, he decided, this football thing he didn't feel right. He didn't feel right. In fact, he turned down, not only that, he turned down a 5-year, $9 million contract from the Rams to leave the Cardinals because he wanted to be loyal to an organization that didn't want to pay him nearly that much. They offered 3 years, 3.5.
And that's a lot of money back then, by the way.
And he wanted to be loyal to the Cardinals, who didn't have the balls or the money to offer him more. So this is the type of guy Pat Tillman was. He was loyal to his teammates and he was very loyal to his country. So instead of playing in the NFL, he said, no, I'm going to go serve my country overseas, my country that has been attacked. Yeah, it was a great shot right there. I love that Ranger. That's a Ranger cap, I think, because he became an Army Ranger. Badass. Yep. I mean, just as bad as they come. And so he left and he was sent to Iraq and then came back and qualified as a Ranger and then was sent to Afghanistan. And it was there that he became quite disillusioned with the U.S. military. And
not what he expected to find.
It's not what he expected to find at all. And the reason was because, as we have come to find out, most of this war was fought due to the military industrial complex, not for any strategical reason. Let's just be honest about that. And that's what most of these wars are. And he had become very disillusioned. And we found out through reporting later on, he had written a lot of things in his journals about upper command and the silliness of a lot of stuff that what they were doing. And it just it wasn't what he thought he had signed up for. He didn't feel like he was doing anything that was protecting the American people, maybe just extending a war that was never going to end in Afghanistan. Something we all came to understand later on. But Pat knew it very early on because he was boots on the ground. He knew what it was all about. And a lot of it is about making money and making bombs and paying companies that make bombs and weapons, et cetera, et cetera. And he knew that. He figured it out. And there was probably a feeling, according to some of the reporting, that he was going to expose a lot of that when he got out of the military. And for whatever reason, when he died, and this was about a week after there was a 60 Minutes report on the American military in Abu Ghraib, which is where they were doing a lot of the torture. It was a lot of bad press for the United States military, depending on how they feel about all that stuff, whatever. So the U.S. military did not have very good public favor at that particular time. And they needed something good to take the eyes away from all the bad shit that was happening. And so when Pat Tillman was killed, instead of saying what really happened, that he was killed by friendly fire, they made up a story. They literally made up a story about a dude that left the NFL and enlisted to fight for his country. You lied as a military organization, as a country. You lied about how he died for PR reasons. That's not okay.
Which begs the question, how many other times have they done something like that?
Exactly. You mean lied to people?
No.
Let's start with
Come
9/11.
on.
Yeah. I mean, it's reprehensible on so many levels, and it really devalues the efforts and sacrifice of so many on this Veterans Day. Yeah, there's a statue built for this guy, and for a reason.
Out in Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the greatest humans, at least that I've known in my life about. I did not know him. I wish I would have got a chance to interview him. I've interviewed his mother, and she was heartbroken by all this. And she feels that it wasn't an accident, that he was shot by his own people 3 times in the head. Killed.
Does anyone think it was an accident? Does anyone think that?
Well, there are some accounts that say that the unit that misidentified his unit was up on a hill. Another unit misidentified it as enemy combatants. And despite him pleading with them and radioing them, don't stop firing at us, they kept firing, and until the job was done. So, would a government organization that's going to lie to you do that on purpose? I hope not. I mean, I can understand them lying about the death, but I don't understand that. But I really don't want to believe that they executed the guy. But at this point, why not? They didn't want him. They didn't want him saying what he was going to say. That's for damn sure. And they made up a story about his death, saying he charged up a hill against enemy combatants and was a hero. Made it up. Yeah, not cool. Not cool. And I don't think enough people know this story, quite frankly. How this guy leaves the NFL and millions of dollars on the table to go fight for your country, and this is how you get treated. And that, and these idiots that are running this country right now, and they're all in the same boat as far as I'm concerned, that don't give a shit about the American people by this government shutdown and the veterans and the active military. Hell, we couldn't even swear in our soldiers on Sunday at the football game when it was salute to service because of this stupid ass government shutdown that is being orchestrated by people who ain't losing any money. The congressmen, the congress people. I mean, this government right now, what we know and what we've learned about a lot of shit that's been happening over the last 3 to 4 decades is at the top of the list for me. And if they're willing to do that, what else are they lying about?
And do you remember when all this went down, JP, how the story, his heroics and everything?
Oh, I reported it on my show.
Yeah. It was
of him charging up the hill because that's what I was told.
Yeah.
I went to the nearest camera I could find at News Channel 8 and said, "This is an incredible story of Pat Tillman." Yeah.
And then so that led the news cycle for weeks until the truth was somehow leaked.
Well, his mother started talking.
Yeah, right.
And she was bashed, by the way, by many people, by many news organizations.
Well, yeah, and that's
you know
where
who
I'm
they
going.
are.
That's where I'm going. And then when that started to come out, how quickly that part of the story was just squashed.
Yep.
No, it did not dominate any news cycles. It very quietly just went away.
Yeah. Nobody's heard of his mother's account. You have to go digging for that if you can even find it anymore. Yeah. Yeah, the Tillman story, a documentary done in 2010 about the former NFL player charging up a knoll in an attempt to protect his fellow combatants. They did a whole documentary on it, whole fully contrived documentary. And this is well after the time that they knew that wasn't true. Hey, let's whitewash this thing. We don't need anybody knowing the truth. I mean, so on this Veterans Day, we remember Pat Tillman in the way that he died and the choices that he made. And it does not take away one iota In fact, it makes it more heroic, actually, and more tragic. It makes his death much more tragic in my mind. And I would say the message is on this Veterans Day is that I hope that there are no more Pat Tillmans. And I hope that when our soldiers go to war, it's for a good reason, a good, right, and moral reason, and not to make money for the military-industrial complex. That's not the reason we should be fighting wars. So, all right, let's move on to comments today. To our great brethren out here, all of our Petermans. Greg the Cruz says, I'm traveling to Tampa soon. Turn off the AC over there. Come on. Got to come by the studio, Greg. JP, if FSU didn't make it into the playoffs the year they were robbed, there's no way USF is making it. Oh, Bucs basement. Don't do that to me, bro. Don't do that to me. But I'm scared of that. Now, the reason FSU didn't make it is because ESPN had a beef with them, a financial beef with them. So that's specific to USF, to FSU. So that doesn't carry over to USF. So I don't think that will play a part. USF hasn't done, they didn't sue their conference. Not that Florida State shouldn't have. They should have. But yeah. So I don't think we have to worry about it. Yes, it's not really a committee, but I think it actually ESPN would love the USF story because it is a big market, for television reasons. Obviously, it's a big market. But let me just say this as we're talking about USF. We need to, at this point, put them here, okay? And we're going to do this on this show. We're going to talk about USF and what's ahead for them, okay? First and foremost, they've got a trip to Navy this weekend. So that, this is a Navy team that was undefeated but has lost 2 in a row. And so but you got to go there. You got to go there and win this game. And it's not going to be easy, but it should be a winnable game. With Notre Dame, I think, would they beat them 50-14 or something last week, 49-14. Yeah. So this is a very winnable game. Byron Brown, by the way, just became the first player in, I think, 30 years to go pass for 200 yards, run for over 100, and complete 90% of his passes last week.
How about that?
And he is in the top 5 of almost every offensive metric. And I don't know why he's not getting Heisman buzz because those numbers are fitting to go up. They're fitting to go up. So they got to go to Navy. All right. That's a nooner, ESPN 2. Then they're at UAB on next Saturday. We don't have a time on that. So 2 road games in a row. And then they will have senior day on November 29th. It's a Saturday against Rice. And hopefully if they win out, they will be in the American Football Championship game on December 6th. They could host that game. They could very well host that game. And if we do.
Against North Texas.
Against North. Well, that would be nice. I'd love to see that rematch. Lots of points in that one, right?
Kind of would too, yeah.
Yeah. So that day on December 5th or December 6th, so they could play it Friday or Saturday, we got to pack that stadium. And I'd like to see it packed on senior day, quite frankly. On that November 29th, I know Florida State plays at Florida, and none of you FSU fans are going to Gainesville. You're not going. Half you Florida fans aren't even going to that game. All right? So let's move USF. Both of our seasons are over, Gator and Knoll fans. Get off the bandwagon and get on the USF bandwagon for the rest of the year. We're just that's it. If you live here in Tampa, support your home team. Go with a winner. This team's actually going to go to the playoffs, has a chance to go to the playoffs, not your sorry-ass team. And I include Florida State in that as I wear this beautiful 1983 sweatshirt. I just realized that my sweatshirt is older than my wife. Anyway, get off that bandwagon and get on USF's. Let's freaking go with Alex Golesh, Byron Brown. These guys are kicking ass. And they're playing physical football. They're playing smart football. They're playing exciting football. Every game, Byron Brown's hurdling players, running for touchdowns, throwing bombs. I mean, this is an exciting team to watch with a lot of talent and plays with a lot of fire. They play with moxie. I love it. So, and if they take care of what they should do, and they're favored in all these games, heavily favored in all these games. I don't know what the number is this week. I would say they're probably favored by 6.5. What do we? I'm guessing
Yeah,
the
we
number.
talked about it earlier in the week, or last week, I think.
I'm going to say
Let's see.
6.5. USF favored
How
by 6.
about USF opened at 9.5 favorites? It is now
9.5.
gone to 10.5.
Wow, 10.5. Okay. So they're double-digit favorites in every one of these games until they get the American Football Championship. And if they win these 4 games, very, very doable, extremely doable, likely, they're going to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
USF. So get on the bandwagon. Now, I don't want to see 15,000 people, and I know it's, say, Thanksgiving weekend for the senior day against Rice. I know, oh, no, they're not going to get a crowd for Rice. No, they're not. But they damn should get a crowd for USF.
What's wrong with Rice? Ain't nothing wrong with Rice. They suck.
No carbs. I mean, come on. It's senior day. Let's support our team. Are you frustrated with your stupid ass Seminoles like I am? Yeah. Then to hell with them for the rest of the year. Are you frustrated with the Gators? You just lost to Kentucky 38-7. Get out of here. FSU lost to Stanford. Get out of here. Not supporting that shit anymore. Not this year anyway.
I was going to make fun of Navy because their quarterback leads both in passing and rushing yards. And then I realized, oh, wait, so does Byron Brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I probably wasn't going to do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's get on the bandwagon. These tickets are cheap. The team is fun as hell to watch. Damn, they're good. They physical on defense. They're smart. They don't have like a number 19 like Florida State has running around diving at people's ankles. That guy Jerry Wilson, get out of here. That dude, like, you want to see something funny? Go watch the tape of FSU Clemson. And every time he's one-on-one with a running back, he's diving at ankles, acting like he's actually trying to tackle somebody. And that dude's getting paid $1 million a year to do that shit. And not only, and then you know what happens? I guess Norvell confronted him at some point of the game. And you know what? Coach, the Surtain put him back in the game. He went back in the game. To hell, what? Man, Mickey Andrews saw one of those things. That kid would never play again, ever. And if that's the way you're coaching kids to tackle, there's one time I should get the clip and show it. There's a running back, a Clemson running back, coming out into the flat, and he's got outside leverage, and there's a player that has inside leverage, and his running back's coming at him full speed. And this dude reaches out with one left hand and and lets him run by. Like, I swear to God, he runs up and just like moves his body out and reaches out with one hand and barely touches the guy. Barely touches the guy. Right in front of the FSU side. I'm like, oh my God. Mickey Andrews would have come and grabbed the kid and pulled him off the field and actually walked him to the bus. Literally walked him out of the stadium. And we're putting him back in the football game. This is ridiculous. I have zero accountability. I'm done. I'm on the USF bandwagon for the rest of the year. And you should be too. Let's go Bulls. This team's going to the college football playoff. And we're not going to be late to the party. All right. We've been there all year long and we're still here. But I'm imploring all of you to get off your butts, clear your schedules, and may say, hey, honey, you know what we're doing on Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend? We're going to the Bulls game. And then the next weekend, we may host a championship game. We're going to go then too. It's going to be fun. Raymond James Stadium. You don't have to pay $5,000 for a ticket either to get in. So, yeah, I mean, if you're the university. So who's the next coach at FSU? Because it ain't Mike Norvell. It ain't Mike Norvell. Listen to this yesterday. Listen to
Alex
this.
Golesh.
Don't do that on my show. Cannot do that on my show. I promise you, USF people.
What if Alex Golesh makes the playoff, wins a game in the playoff?
Don't.
Is he going to get offers from FSU and Florida?
I promise these Bulls people we're not going to talk about this. They can get that on the other stations. But blame Timm. Blame him. We're not talking about this. Other than that guy going, who's your next coach? Is it going to be Lane Kiffin? I got news for you. No. And that's going to be weird this week.
I guess they're going after Lane Kiffin right now.
Who's that?
The Giants.
The Giants, yeah. Yeah, absolutely they are. And the Dolphins too, by the way.
Yeah, but not officially yet.
Yeah, but they want him. And
Now,
I
which
think,
job would you rather have?
well,
Give me-
the Dolphins, obviously.
Why?
The Giants?
You got a quarterback in New York. You don't have one in Florida, in Miami.
Yeah, but you got to live in New York.
Dude,
Not that Miami's any better.
Yeah, I was
Not
going to
that
say,
Miami-
give me New York
That's
over
true.
Miami any day.
Yeah, that's true. Good God. Honestly, I wouldn't want either job. But, Jackson Dart was his kid. And I don't know, at this point, do you want to leave Ole Miss for that dysfunction?
Nope.
Dude, I'd stay in Oxford my whole life. You kidding me? Beautiful, small city.
He could be the Bobby Bowden of Ole Miss.
Oh, my God. But, the beautiful campus. I mean, gorgeous campus.
Gorgeous, man.
The Grove. You're the king. You can do anything you want there. You're never going
buy
to
a
get
meal or a
fired.
beer for
No
the rest of your life.
Pressure. Your daughter's going to school there. Like, what do you want to move to Baton Rouge? Miami?
Pretty
New
gross.
York?
Mississippi River.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're looking for in your life. But for me, I can sit there and coach in the SEC, get to pay my players
legally,
just own the city, and I can travel wherever I want. I mean, it's a lot more work in college than the pros, I guess, in terms of recruiting, but you still ain't a whole lot of off time in the pros either. There's not. So, but you don't have to deal with recruiting. I don't know. I'm just here to say for the meantime, until Florida State figures it out what they're going to do, I'm kind of done with it. I'll watch the games. I'll support the program. But I'm really frustrated right now. Can we listen to this gobbledygook, this word salad, this Kamala word salad? Listen to, I don't even know if he's dealing with reality. The question was something about
CTE.
He might. That snub may have been like getting in a car wreck or something. I don't know, because I'm concerned about his mental faculties here. Listen to. I guess he was asked about the negativity surrounding him in the program.
I'm fully aware the outside narrative around our team is not good. Around me is probably not good. That's fine. That will not affect, right, the job that I'm going to show up and do. Right? The job I'm going to show up and do is I'm going to pour everything I have into this team with a championship expectation, right, for us to go grow and be better. And why I can say that is because I've actually won a championship. I've done that. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again. Right? And people, that might piss people off. So be it. Right? They'll be celebrating when we're hoisting a trophy, and it will be the belief and that I see from our players, the belief that I see from our coaches, the talent that I know that our players have, and the guys that are coming to be a part of this. Man, I've got elite level confidence for what's ahead of us. And I know not everybody wants to hear that. I don't care. I know what it's going to be, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have. Also understand that it has not been good enough, right? And the results, they matter, right? But we're going to take that step, and we're going to get the job done.
And he said, we're going to win another championship soon. Listen, bro, I appreciate that he hasn't given up, I guess. But that seemed like a diatribe that's not based in reality.
No, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like a guy who has given up internally, but doesn't want to let anyone know that he's given up. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. I'd buy that too.
He's trying to put on a good front that he's still fighting when deep down inside, he is broken, man.
He's either delusional or he's trying to make you believe something that not even he believes. Either way, it's completely inauthentic. And then to say, it's the people that are on me now, you'll be celebrating when we win the championship. That's a shot at the fans. He's probably right, but that's not a shot that needs to be taken at this particular point. Many of you know, I've been a Norvell supporter, like tacitly. Like, I think he's the guy. I don't know, but I think he's the guy. You don't win 19 games in a row unless you're doing something right. And I think, frankly, that was a different guy. I think the guy that won 19 in a row is a different guy than what we're dealing with. I think that snub either, listen, and these are high pressure jobs, and people break down under much less pressure than this. I don't think we've ever publicly seen a coach a head coach like lose it mentally under the pressure. But I kind of feel like this is what we're watching. The way he speaks, the way he used to speak, it just seems like a different person to me. And to your point, it's like you're trying to talk me into something that not even you believe, or you've lost all sense of reality. You're going to sit there. I believe in the talent of these players. Really? And the coaches? Really? I mean, do you watch the film, Mike? Do you see what you're putting out there? These guys, I mean, I see offensive linemen like come out of their stance and like hit a guy like this, and then it crushes the quarterback and just go. Like I see that all the time on the tape. Like guys just stand up and they don't know who they're blocking. They don't block anybody. Quarterback's running for his life, and they're just like standing there. Like I see receivers running routes, and it's like you're not even trying to get open. Like you're not even running hard. You're in the red zone, and you're not even trying to fight through the defensive back over his face. You're just like giving up. It's just like no effort whatsoever. And you can sit there and from that pulpit and tell people that you have confidence that you can win a championship. Bro, you can't beat Stanford. They beat Wake Forest. Yeah, I watched that game. Wake Forest imploded. It's not like we did a whole hell of a lot right. The guy has no clue and when to go for it on fourth down. And when it's game coaching is awful. This quarterback, Gus Malzahn offense they got is high school at best. It's not big league.
That was supposed to be the savior of the program, right?
Other programs are laughing at you. Oh, they're running that offense. Good luck getting any receivers or a quarterback to run that shit. Yeah, you're not. Go root for USF. That coach has a clue. He's authentic. These players play their ass off. They play smart. They hustle. They're physical. They're talented. They win. Don't make me look bad, Alex Golesh, this week at Navy. I swear to God. Don't you lay an egg at Navy. I swear to God. Don't you dare. But anyway, I think they won't. But I tell you what, I don't know where Florida's going. I don't know who their next head coach is. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Lane Kiffin. So if you're counting on that, I would look elsewhere. Who's it going to be? Would you take James Franklin right now? I would.
Would you?
I hope to God. Oh, God, yeah. I hope to God FSU has a deal already done with Franklin. I hope to God they do. Listen, he's got his warts, but who else, who's better? Who's better? Who you got? I don't know.
And I don't. As far as like who's already available, like
I know everybody that was worth the shit got re-signed by their own team. You know, so I don't even know who's going to be out there. But yeah, I know this: Mike Norvell ain't the guy. He is not the guy. Gus Malzahn's offense, no. You want to go win? You know, I don't want to besmirch any other conference, but you want to go win something else. Try it. You want to win. You want to compete for national championships against Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State. You can't win with that garbage offense. Well, we beat Alabama. I know, but people figured it out since then. Yeah. Evidently, Alabama didn't know. But if they played them right now, I think they'd figure it out.
JP, do you think, I know we're up against a break, do you think he would have already been fired had they not beaten Alabama? This would have happened much sooner in the season if he didn't have that notch in his belt.
I know, because I don't think anybody can reasonably look at and say, you know, okay, well that they beat Alabama, so maybe he's got something. I don't think if that's what you think, I don't think you know much about football. I think Michael Alford has already decided, and he's just trying to get his financial ducks in a row. Thus bringing Spank's girl, Sarah Blakely, to the game last week and showering her with
gifts. Need your money.
Yeah, he happened to have $53.9 million laying around. We could use for the next 7 years to pay off this knucklehead. Get him the hell out of here. That's only a few Spanks a month, right? Come on, let's go. We can handle that. You're worth $1.6 billion. Help a brother out. Which, by the way, and I want to talk about this on the other side. LSU offered Brian Kelly a settlement that he refused. And I asked the question, should these coaches that get these ridiculous buyouts even take the money? Should they even take the money?
I would. Why would you not?
Well, because you have an ethical, moral bone in your body? I don't know.
But then the program needs to think about ethics and morals when they offer the freaking buyout when they hire you. That's not his job.
All right. Well, we will discuss on the other side. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back on the other side. Italiano Insurance. It's time to do your insurance update right at the end of the year. Before all those bills come due, your homeowner's insurance, all those other things, give them a call over to Italiano, 813-877-7799, and have them shop all your insurance because it costs you a penny. They do all the work. You save all the money. And there's a lot of companies coming in now that are offering rebates and lower rates. So find out who they are. Don't stand pat with your company and don't get on the phone calling 17 different companies. Let them do the work. They'll do it. 813-877-7799. You save all the money and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally. And listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. Go see Paulo, our buddy over there. Get some great Italian food, a little antipasto, followed by some lasagna, some salsiccia. Oh, the branzino, the sea bass is fabulous.
I love it.
It's all great over there at Cafe Paradiso. And tell Paula we said hello. Look who joined us.
Look who just slid in.
There he is.
Look who slid in his DM.
Look at Big O sliding into my DMs like that. I was just about to say that.
Hamon's DM. I like me some Hamon. Come on.
You're the only one in my DMs right now, unfortunately.
Oh, that's not.
Wow.
That's sad. That's very sad. If I'm the only one.
The only one in your DMs is 6'3", 255. You're in trouble, bro.
And the dude.
Actually, it's 6'4", 280, which is sad.
Oh,
but yeah,
I cheated him.
You cheated me
I
an
cheated
inch and about,
Wow.
unfortunately, 25 pounds.
Jeez, oh,
Big O's got 3 inches on me, but only 10 pounds. That can't be right.
I hope nobody transcribes this show.
Oh, geez, I am a black Cuban. But anyway, I digress. All
right, we got to get to our great commenters here. And you can jump in here.
Go ahead.
Greg the Cruz says it's mostly Buck stuff. You only get one shot when you make those comments, so you better not screw up on Sunday or they could lose the locker
What was
room.
the comment?
Where Baker came out and said,
right after the game.
Yeah, he's like, we got to be better.
Yeah.
You know, when you screw up during the week, you got to take some pride during the week and get it right.
Yeah, I mean, they had to buy,
Yeah.
and they should have. The mistakes that were so costly, you figured that should not happen off of a buy. Right?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
No,
so-
when you send the guys home for a whole week, they forget about football.
Oh, see, that's interesting though, and it's funny because you bring up, sending guys home. So it was interesting with Travis Kelce and Jason on their show. They were talking about when he had to buy, and he said, "So what are you doing, man? You're gonna get away from the game for a bit?" And he's like, "No, we're struggling. I'm just focused on the next game." He said he wasn't going to do anything during the bye week. That was, Travis Kelce.
Except Taylor.
Oh, Nelly. Talk about DA sliding into a DM. But
I'll be focusing on this.
I'm going to be focusing on
$1 billion
this and football. I'm focusing on the multi.
Well, I mean, but think about it. For Travis, he could take the week and fly off to
that's what I'm saying.
Anywhere in the world.
I think that's what his brother was alluding to.
Yeah.
And he was kind of having none of it. Travis is like, "No, dude, football." And he's like, "Really? I mean, come on, you're going to take a trip somewhere, to Europe or some crazy thing."
And he said no.
And he said no. And
I wonder if Andy was like, "Yeah, you got to be here on Wednesday."
Possibly. I mean, they're not having a great season. I mean,
listen, they get the whole half the year off. I just, if I'm a coach, and by the way, they're injured. I'm not talking about bringing them in and doing full-scale padded practices.
Right.
I'm talking about keeping them around the building, keeping their focus on football. And, and listen, if you get away from the building for a week, I don't care what you say, you're going to lose your edge.
And it's an interesting thing because football and baseball are so different, right? Because baseball is such a day to day.
You're at the office every day.
No, but even if you do have, like, let's say, a couple of days by some, happenstance where the coach says you're not playing today, and then there's an off day, you almost get out of sync, and we talked about it with the Dodgers having pretty much almost a week off and how that was going to affect them. And I've seen other teams in the playoffs. I told you before, namely the Tigers, when they lost to the Cardinals. They had 9 days off because they won quick, and the Cardinals went deep in their 7-game series, and it was noticeable. So there's two, different schools of thought with that. You get it in the, in the big, bowl. Back in the day, there was 2-3 weeks almost before, you actually
for the bowl games.
For the championship bowl
and you
games.
saw a lot of bad football.
Yeah.
You see a lot of bad football when you have to wait that long.
You've got playoffs and you got, week to week. Now you got to stay on top. As a former athlete, I'll tell you, I did not want to take too much time off. You know what I mean? Even
in the middle of the season.
Not in the middle of the season. That's got to and also the camaraderie of the team. You want to just stay in the juices flowing of what your goal is. So if your goal is the playoffs, you need to be connected, man. And that's an interesting thing.
Greg Cruz also says Tez makes plays on scramble drills, but I'm not sure he's always where he's supposed to be on his routes. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Let's see what else we got here.
Dynamic little player, though.
Oh God, so good. But he's got a lot to learn.
Yeah,
a lot to learn. All right, Rudder says, I do agree. Guys are looking around at Baker to make plays. It sounded like he had sensed this in his post-game interview. Absolutely, he did. What else we got here? And I think it's great for him to step up and say that.
Sure.
Nathan Elliott, good morning to you, says teams are game planning for Baker to make magic happen. His injury and teams looking for a Baker baking miracle are why they are not happening. The crushing of the pocket is killing the offense. Yeah. He's just getting squeezed and he can't get out.
So much. Right.
Yeah. And then maybe this is more designed rollouts, more bootlegs, get him out of the pocket.
Me being, again, not a football, aficionado and expert, him rolling out seems to make more sense because the reality is he's not a tall quarterback.
No.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
So when you're pushing him in and kind of collapsing him around him, then it makes – I've noticed a lot of high throws that have been made, by Baker. So while he's on the run, dude, that guy, the one he threw to Tez,
that was a great throw.
The second touchdown throw.
That's unbelievable.
That was a bullet, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was well covered. He was well covered.
There was one place he could put it in his left arm, right
Both
there.
of them, really.
Yeah, both of them. But that second one goes to show you, how talented Baker is, given the opportunity to have, an extra beat of second of time.
He makes magic. Michael LaRue, good morning to you. Said the Patriots are holding on every play. They coach to do it. All the linemen have bent arms and closed fists. They don't fully extend or grab, but they use their arms outside of their body frame. Well, as if you're seeing that as a team, you got to get on the officials and make sure they're calling it or starting to call it at some point. More right. Rudder said the guys needed a break last week. Team was and is beat up bad. I get that, folks. Guys, there's a difference between giving them a break and letting them get away from the building and get away from football and all that. They're going to do that for 4 days anyway. They got the 4 days off.
Right.
But if you have a chance to bring them in on Monday and Wednesday, why not do it ahead of it? Yeah. Especially when, just keep them zeroed or listen, if I'm 2-6 after the bye, I'm changing what I'm doing.
Correct.
If I'm Todd Bowles, but he's not. He hasn't. So, and I'm not saying that's the only reason. Listen, the Patriots made plays. They made great plays.
Yeah.
The other team gets paid too, and they're a really good football team.
Yeah.
And the Bucs just didn't make those plays. Whether it's the week off, I don't fucking know if it was the week off or not.
I mean,
I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but it was, or was it just bad coaching? Or you were just out coached on every level? It seemed to. But the players got to make plays.
Yeah.
We put so much on the play calling and this, at the end of the day, you got a perfect throw from Drake May in the corner of the end zone to Diggs, who goes up high points it. It comes down with 2 feet. That's a great freaking play.
Yeah, you can't.
On fourth down.
You can't take that.
I mean, that's just a great Antoine Winfield Jr. was in the right position. Did he reach up and make the play? No, it was a perfect freaking throw.
Yeah.
Against one-on-one. That's a great play. To do two TreVeyon Henderson touchdown runs. They were blocked up really well. Was there some holding? Yeah, probably. Did some guys take some bad angles? Yeah.
But the surprise probably was more where you should have won the game in creating more pressure on Drake May, creating more sacks. They only had the one sack.
He's been sacked all year long. He got one sack. Yeah.
It was the one that he almost actually got to the line of scrimmage. So this is that's where you go, okay, that's in the trenches. We should have won that game.
Yeah. And I believe the pressure rate was like 47%, which is good. But I said, really? Because I don't feel like Drake May was ever really pressured that much
compared to our guy.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't feel like it. So, my eyes tell me something different. Michael LaRue says if Bowles loses another wild card home playoff game, it's not 100% guaranteed that he's back next year. Oh, that's true.
Sure.
That's true. If they get another home playoff game and lose, I very much think Todd Bowles is
they're at the point now where
that would look a lot like Tony Dungy.
This is a team. This is a team.
Then you go get Alex Golesh.
Wow. There goes Tim.
You are killing me. Tim. You are killing me. I promised all my USF brethren that I'm not going to talk about him going someplace else.
Right.
In the middle of this great season. We're not going to suck the life out of this season. Keep talking about where Alex Golesh is going.
Right.
And this Hamon
Jamoke,
keeps talking about it.
He keeps throwing it out there.
He keeps throwing it out there. Breaking my promise to all these people.
Yeah. I'm a newsman, JP. I can't promise not to report the news.
Yeah, right, he texted me earlier. He said that Alex Golesh is going. He went into my DM.
Slid into his DMs with Alex Golesh
DM.
I will not put up with this mutiny on my show. Good God. There's a chain of command here, for God's sakes. It's Veterans Day.
It is Veterans Day, by the way.
It is.
Understand.
God bless our veterans.
That's all right. Anything else we got in here before we're going to talk a little baseball with O? You guys keep yelling at Bucs Basement. We're not going to put that on. Come up with something fresh. Andre All Day 20 says that the Buccaneers stopped the Pats on that 4th down before halftime, they would have won the game. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's true, that they would have won the game. Maybe the Patriots figure out another way to win the game. They were up 2 scores most of the second half. So, but that was a huge play. That was a huge freaking play. And again, that was good. They caught him in a one-on-one, a wide receiver on a safety, even though it's Antoine Winfield Jr. A little bit of size mismatch, a little bit, but it's a perfectly thrown football. I mean, and a great catch. That's, at some point you tip your cap to the other team and say, yeah. First of all, great sequence, not trying to score on 1st down, and then you get stuffed twice, and then you go to the air, and you make a play. That's football. That's football.
How did you feel about the 3rd and 3 and the 4th and 3?
I didn't have a problem. I mean, I guess we could have run the ball, but there's no guarantee that. Listen, the Patriots, if they know you're running it, then you're not going to get that 3 yards.
Yeah.
They're physical up front, and they were, but I could have run the ball there, no question. But you know what he did? He called the play where K-Dot was open, and Baker hit him in the hands.
Yep.
And they were physical, and they knocked it out of his hands. And now if he catches that and they get the 1st down, we go on to score. I mean, is that a bad play call? I don't know. The 4th down play, they send a 5-man pressure, and you don't block it.
And they didn't block it.
They didn't block it at all. I mean, they knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And
they had to know it was coming.
They knew it was true. They did. They knew it was coming, and you have an answer to it.
Yeah,
and you got to block it up, first of all. And if you don't even block it up at all, you got 2 free runners coming at you, which is basically what he had, then you got no shot. So that's not on a play caller. That's bad execution. Both times it's bad execution.
Hey, listen, when it comes down to it, again, having been a ball player,
you got to make the plays.
You have to make the plays, and the players make the manager. It's not most of the times, 90% of the times, the players make the manager, the players make the head coach, and plays are the difference. And those were plays that were made.
All right. The rest of us, we pretty much went over, so I will turn it over to you, Big O. And
no, just fun. This is the time of season in baseball where it's award season, kind of like the Oscars, so to speak. And and a couple guys that definitely were deserving. Nick Kurtz, what a season that guy had. 290, 36 home runs, 90 runs scored, 80 something RBIs. And they didn't even play a full season, by the way. He came up at the end of April.
Right.
This kid is a legit all-star capabilities. 6'4", has a really good. You remember when I've talked about with Carson Williams, the Volpes of the world that don't have any idea what the strike zone is? This kid at 6'4", 235 has an idea what the strike zone is and commanded it. He got walks, and he would crush to pole.
What's his pedigree? Is he a college kid?
College kid. College kid. They rushed him up to the big leagues. I mean, that's what's happening.
South Carolina?
No. Where was he? Timmy, can you look that up real quick? I don't know, but
my point is, like, we're seeing college players.
The kid for Baldwin, Drake Baldwin, Missouri State, where a big Ryan.
I wish I could help you with the names.
Ryan Howard, the big home run hitter. They went to Missouri State. By the way, the curious thing with Blake is that I really kind of like it because he's a black catcher, and there's just haven't been many black.
Wow, that's a unicorn.
That is a unicorn, bro.
Yeah.
The last black catcher to win, a major award like that, or Rookie of the Year, was Earl Williams back for the Braves. Won the Rookie of the Year. Earl Williams.
Wow.
Power hitting, not that good defensive catcher. He was more of a first baseman, third baseman. I was a fan of Earl Williams when I was a kid in the 70s, but it's kind of neat, obviously when you go back in the lore of great black catchers, the list is very short. It's Roy Campanella.
I was trying to think. Roy Campanella is the only one I can think of.
Elston Howard, Hall of Famer. Elston Howard, MVP. Just a phenomenal power hitter and catcher. He's the one that took over for Yogi.
Yeah.
After Roy Campanella and the injury that he had, then you had Johnny Roseboro was a black catcher. Just not that many. So that's to be kind of applauded for the black community to have.
But are we seeing a time now where we can much like football and basketball, where we could scout college and say this guy's going to be an impact player next year? This guy's going to be because we saw it with Skeens, obviously.
Yeah.
With LSU.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I think college players now are being rushed quicker to the big leagues than they were when back in the day when I was playing in the 80s and 90s.
Which I always wondered about. But I think college baseball now is much better than it was.
Much better.
Right.
It's much stronger.
And because guys are getting paid now.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually
even before the NIL, I think there was a push going on. I just talked recently to Paul Maneri, legendary coach at LSU. Now he's actually come out of retirement. He's at South Carolina. Speaking of South Carolina, and he's coming back to head coaching at the high level of college. And he's had so many greats come through LSU, including Skeens.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is MLB is especially with pitchers, they're noticing that these guys
are ready to go,
ready
to step right in.
And
let's talk about that on the O Show.
Yeah.
I'm going to dig into that and some other things, all the rookies of the year and all that stuff coming up.
Ray's making some moves.
Small moves. We got to talk about
baby steps.
12:30 to 1:30 live. It's the O Show with Big O, Orestes Estrada. So we'll do that coming up at that particular time. Timmy, thank you so much for your contribution today. And
I'm always here to contribute.
If you
good or bad,
anything, you can go check it out on our podcast.
Say hello to Alex for me.
I will. We're chatting later.
Like and subscribe on all and we have a new Instagram FanStream Sports page. I think we do.
Yes, new Instagram FanStream Sports. You guys go follow it.
The new website is freaking unbelievable. You got to go to fanstreamsports.com. All the local Tampa Bay stuff and national is there for you. So you don't have to go behind a paywall anymore, any of that foolishness. You got it all right there on FanStream Sports. And of course, this show where we do all local sports each and every day for 2 hours. So thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you tomorrow. 12:30.